To qualify for the amount, a Montana resident must have been a resident of the state for the whole tax year, which started on January 1st, 2021, and they must have also filed several documents. Additionally, eligible residents must have not been claiming a dependent by another taxpayer. And the amount of money they entered in line for 2021 says that you must be greater than zero. This rebate will be sent via direct deposit or mail, depending on how a state taxpayer requested a refund or paid taxes on the most recent state income tax return. People who submitted and requested the refund through direct deposit will likewise have this rebate sent to them automatically, while those who requested the refund as paper check will get this rebate in the mail. It's essential for people to get the stimulus check they deserve. We have a ton of news about the fourth stimulus check, Social Security benefits, SSI and SDI. Exciting news! Make sure to keep an eye on your mailbox. If you reside in one of these states, you can expect to see financial relief very fast. Now, negotiations are continuing on state inflation relief checks. In the state of Alabama, a proposed income tax rebate is still moving forward, but at a much reduced amount. An Alabama Senate committee has approved an income tax rebate of $100 for most filers. That is $300 less than the rebate first processed by the Alabama governor. It's a way to redistribute the state's largest budget surplus. Governor Ivey said at an event, "It's only right while we still acknowledge we are recording revenues far exceeding normal and sustainable levels. We give a fair share of this money directly back to the people." Under the new proposal, the cost of the rebate will go from $1 billion to $275 million. The rebates funds will come out from a larger $2.8 billion spending package currently under debate. The payments still need to be voted on by the Alabama legislature and signed into law before they can go into effect. Meanwhile, a neighboring state is already sending out its second major tax rebate soon. Most Georgia taxpayers have been receiving income taxes and tax rebates early this week. The funds are made possible by the recently passed House bill, and the bill allows for the redistribution of the state's $6 billion surplus back to residents. Some filers, solo filers, receive $250, heads of households filers get $375, and couples are due $500. The size of the rebate cannot be bigger than the taxpayer's tax liability. New Mexico residents can also look forward to upcoming rebates, and the New Mexico governor says the latest round of rebates will go out in mid-June. Thanks to a bill passed by lawmakers during the 2023 session, New Mexico residents who had previously filed taxes will get another round of rebates. Single tax filers will get $500, married couples, heads of households, and surviving spouses will get $1,000. Taxpayers who use direct deposit when filing will get the latest round of rebate checks very fast. But those who are in
$1,000 a year if you earn $15 an hour.
And Ali, the price of housing has soared in recent years. You're an average worker. My God, you're paying $1,500 a month to put a roof over your head and your child's head. The price of food.
Virginia need to hurry as the applications can only be filed until November 9. A point to note is that this guaranteed income program is specifically for people in the state of Virginia. The new relief program is going to be sent out based on basic income to hundreds of local families. Now, the mayor of a city in Virginia told reporters, guaranteed income program is a proven tool to help families become stronger and financially stronger footing and take steps to move up the economic ladder. From the total applications, everybody, the program will randomly select residents. The selected people will get $500 a month for 2 years, and authorities expect to first see the guaranteed income stimulus checks from Virginia in 2023. This program is going to cost $3 million, not a lot of money, and the funding for the program just comes from the CARES Act and the Rescue Plan Act. To be eligible for the guaranteed stimulus check, you must be at least 18 years older, and also applicants' annual income should be less than 50% of the area median income. Not only this, but other states and cities are doing the same thing. They're experimenting with this. They're experimenting with similar guaranteed income programs. Richmond, Virginia, for instance, came up with a similar program with just 18 families. New York also did the same thing. For the last 6 months, President Biden has just been talking with his advisors about discussing the gas prices and what needs to happen on this. That's because now single prices rattle consumers as much as the cost of gas, which crept up again to a new high of $5 a gallon in June, as it comes no surprise that soaring gas prices corresponded directly with President Biden's sinking approval rating. Since then, gas prices have fallen by about $1.10. Biden may have helped a little by releasing oil from the strategic reserve, but according to Yahoo News, Biden has largely ignored another important type of fuel. Diesel fuel, which is critical for the production and transportation of many everyday products, is here. Around the same time, gas hit $5 a gallon. Diesel hit $5.81 a gallon. Now gas prices are now 22% below their peak, but diesel is just 8% lower. On a year-over-year basis, gas prices are up 15%, while diesel is up 43%. High diesel prices are a kind of hidden inflation because most consumers never buy stations, but it's possible because efforts to create commissions to examine the programs may move forward as part of a deal, which has set off a vigorous debate. And that would include Social Security pension disability, Medicare Part A, highway trust funds, and things like that. Social Security's trust funds are projected to pay full benefits until 2035, at which point just 80% of the monthly checks will be payable, because Medicare's Part A trust fund will cover hospital care. It's projected to pay benefits fully until 2028, at which point 90% of benefits will be payable, because another bill, the Bipartisan Social Security Commission Act, would seek to form a temporary commission to address solvency of the program's funds under the expedited procedures. Whether such committees are going to be necessary to shore up the trust funds is a topic of fierce debate among the experts. But one thing I know for sure is that Joe Biden can do something for the people. He can't get the stimulus out there if he wants to.
Jobs, they're real jobs, man. It means we've created more jobs in 2 years than any presidential term in American history.
It wants you to claim this relief now, and millions of people residing in several states are missing out on another payment from the federal government. If you are a part-time worker or a senior citizen, you'll likely qualify for one of these checks. Nearly 1.5 million Americans that could be owed a share of the unclaimed tax refunds are going to get the stimulus cash, because according to the IRS, the outstanding funds are worth almost $1.5 billion, with an average payout of $900. Typically, there is a 3-year deadline to claim refunds before the cash becomes property of the U.S. Treasury. But because of the crisis, there has been an extension for the tax returns. It means taxpayers have until July 17 to claim the money back. And according to the IRS, Texas residents are owed the most, with an estimated 135,000 residents in the state sitting on an average of $924. It's totaling over $141 million. The state-by-state breakdown calculated by the agency shows that California residents have the second highest sum of possible refunds, with $141 million potentially owed to 145,000 people. Florida comes in third, with a median projected refund of $893 for about 90,000 residents. And the IRS predicts that about 81,000 New Yorkers could be owed almost $87 million, while people living in Illinois could be sitting on about. Folks, the Social Security Administration is at risk of defaulting, and when that happens, that means no Social Security benefits anymore. New payments will be going out to eligible seniors in just a couple of days, so get your stimulus ready. You can be getting it actually sooner than we all expected. That's because of what this President Biden just did for the fourth stimulus check. Watch this, folks. You don't want to miss out on the important news. Nearly all American workers are eligible for Social Security. People can choose to start receiving them pretty much at the age of 62. Full retirement age is currently set at 67, and that's even for people who were born in the 60s. But nearly 90% of eligible Americans claim Social Security at or before the full retirement age, with about a third of beneficiaries claiming the age 62 as their earliest time possible. But if you are one of the few who can hold out and start claiming later, well, it's going to have significant impacts on your financial life. According to economists, lawmakers, things like this, Social Security is just careening towards insolvency. The only question up for debate is when it will happen. The Fed's program trustees stated that in their latest update, Social Security's trust fund